Madonna has posted a new family portrait of herself and her children and her dad. They're celebrating Thanksgiving. And it is the first time the family have been together since the death of her brother, Christopher, and stepmom, Joan. They both died of cancer earlier this year. I think on this panel we have all had experience of loss, haven't we? Christmas is just one of those occasions, Frankie, isn't it, that, you know, if you have lost somebody in that year, it just changes it.
Yeah, I think it's a really tough one, especially if there's someone that you spend that time with usually. So for me, it was we lost my nan, and she was like one of the most important people in my life, and she was also like a huge part of our Christmas traditions when I was growing up. Like, I can still see her coming up the driveway with like sacks of presents, and you know, we wouldn't open anything until like my nan and granddad had woken up, and they sang and they danced and they ballroom danced around, you know, and like they were just for me, Christmas was my nan and granddad. So I think the mixture of that being the first person that I lost and her being such an important part, it did make that Christmas really different, I think. I could see the sadness in my mum, obviously, because she'd lost her mum, and I think it was the first time I realised that it was my mum's mum, if that sounds, you know, like when you're a kid. Yeah, when you're a kid. And obviously seeing my granddad, like not having that person to like sing and dance with over Christmas. And I love Christmas, it's a really big part of me, but I know so many people that actually can't enjoy it anymore because of the grief of losing someone. So
I think you kind of have to reinvent it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, similar to you, I mean, I've lost both my mum and my dad, and I mean, Christmas was always at their house. And the first one after my dad died, we just kind of sleptwalked through it. We went through the motions. We were kind of anaesthetised to the whole thing. You did it because it felt like a big thing to ignore it, but you know, it was just, like I say, it was, we were sleepwalking. But in the year since, you've just got to reinvent it because it was so much associated with them. For us, we just had to have a different thing, you know? That was the way that we did it. What about you, Kelly?
Yeah, I think, same. I think every year, I can't remember a Christmas that's been the same. It's like, I feel like as I get older, it's like every year there's someone that was there last year that's not there this year. And it just becomes that, doesn't it? And I think what you said about reinventing it is definitely what I've done. I find it quite a difficult time. Like, I lost my dad in 2007. My mum's got a new partner. She's got a new life now. My brother's got his family. Like, everyone's just kind of like branched off. And, you know, I've created my family with my husband, but we don't have children. So then you just think, well, then what is Christmas without children? Because a lot of it is so much for them, isn't it? So we just go away. We literally just leave the country. We spend a lot of time in France with his family, and there's just like, you know, a small group of us, and it's been wonderful actually to not have to have that stress of it and that reminder. And like you said, I think what you've nailed it. It is literally reinventing it. I can't remember a Christmas with my family for the last 10 years. You know, my family now is my husband. So as long as I'm with him, that's all I worry about now.
And I guess his family will have their stuff, but it's their stuff. So
it's their stuff, it's not my stuff. I don't have to worry about it.
Yes, I'll have another glass of Prosecco.
You'll figure it out amongst yourselves,
I know. Kelly, your gran was a huge loss, wasn't it?
Yeah, losing Nana Rose was really tough for my whole family. She was the pinnacle, the stalwart that kept us all together, the little bit of sticky glue that made everyone feel better, no matter what you were going through. So I think it's really difficult when you lose somebody, especially around this time, because it's that isolation, isn't it? And you don't want to put yourself on somebody else, because you don't want to go and sometimes you don't feel like you want to go on another family because you might feel like an inconvenience, and you don't want to go and join that group because you think they've already got their group. And sometimes people can feel really isolated. I know I'm thinking of somebody, a neighbour and a close friend who at the moment is going, where do I fit? And that's a really difficult thing, isn't it, around a time when you have the view of everybody having this perfect Christmas, like where do I fit into that? Just encouragement for that.
But just it's made me think, actually, as you're talking there, I've got a couple of friends who just don't do Christmas. You know, they've just decided they don't do it. And do you know what? They're perfectly happy. They've made that decision. They don't do it. They have a lovely day. They walk out with their dogs, you know, and they don't sort of call anyone else for it. And I think that is also okay if you just want to just do your own thing.
We do it for 2 months, Kay. I mean, by December, I'm over Christmas. It starts in November here, doesn't it? I'm literally over it already.
After Halloween, totally. If you have been affected by anything that we've been chatting about, or you feel like you just need someone to talk to, make sure to visit our helplines below.